The pit stop is vital to every race team's success. Pull off the track, let your team go to work.
Outside, clear.
Change all 4 tires, fill the fuel cell, and make needed adjustments, all in 8 seconds or less.
Hey, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever time you're watching or listening to the program. This is the Pits Are Open, brought to you by Speed Sport, your one-stop shop for all racing news, video, action, cool. Speedsport.com, speedsport1.com. Also, Redline Ace, your one-stop shop for all motorsports, graphics, cars, helmets, hero cars, haulers, you name it. They do it in the heart of Speedway, Indiana, miles away from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Hey, Will Marty, your host, Alex Smith, our undaunted producer and engineer. Man, you know, I love the fact that there's always something to report on, always something to talk about. And that's what we try to do with the show. We try to bring you timely information. We also bring you guests, industry guests, drivers, owners, sponsorship people. We want to be able to help as much as we can with younger teams, younger drivers, newer drivers, learn how to acquire some of those sponsorship dollars that are out there. And this is a busy time. I mean, there's a lot of people pitching right now. Fourth quarter, that's it. It's crunch time. If you don't already have someone or something in line, man, this is where you've got to get on somebody's radar while they're still talking budgets and they're still talking allocations for next season, next year. In many cases, it might be too late, but it's not too late if you've already had established relationships and you're going back to those folks and talking. And so we had some big things break today. Finally, the news that everyone was expecting, press conference, Indianapolis Motor Speedway today, was announced that Uncos Hollinger Racing has brought on Rinus VeeKay. Rinus, 25. You know, it seems like he's been around for so long, it seems that he's older than 25, but not really. Finished 14th in the standings last year. Dale Coyne Racing had a good year. 6 seasons, he's Rookie of the Year, 1 victory, 2 poles, 2 fastest laps, 5 podiums, 33 top 10s. He's got 97 starts under his belt. And youngest front row starter in the history of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Good for Uncos Hollinger. He's a solid driver, good for Rinus VeeKay. Because well, every time you say that, right? Every time you say no offense intended or with all due respect, here comes the dig after that, right? So I'll just say it. He was with Dale Coyne, gave Dale Coyne a great year, and I think got other people to notice him. You know, he had been with Carpenter for a while and was unceremoniously released, landed with Coyne, and God bless Dale Coyne and Dale Coyne Racing, because Dale's been at it for a long time as a driver, an owner, probably across, probably 4 decades at this point. Smaller team, funding's been difficult until recently. Congratulations. Rinus now with Hollinger, who's had some changes over the years. Rinus raced with Hollinger a while ago, got the Pro Mazda. Now it's called USF Pro 2000 Championship. 2018, came back in 2019 with Indy Lights, now called Indy Next. Should have left it alone. I liked Indy Lights better. I think Indy Next is just too trendy. Everybody calls Next. Anyway, so he's familiar with Ricardo Uncos. He's familiar with some of the team. This is a move by Uncos Hollinger that really, says they're serious. They're really serious about competing. They really want to compete, and so I'm grateful. I'm grateful for that. Grateful that they have decided to make that move, and I think it's a good one. A good one for them. Good one for Rinus VeeKay, and unfortunately for Connor Daly, the fan favorite Connor Daly. A lot of people love Connor. A lot of people wish he was still in play there, but unfortunately, things change, and that's kind of the nature of the business, right? People go from from one place to another. And yes, I am doing something on my computer because I forgot my notes. This is not perfection. The reason I forgot my notes is because we were working diligently for the backdrop of our new set. And I want to ask you what you think of that. Those of you who are on Facebook, comment, please, if you would. Tell us, what do you think about our new set? Because I'm happy with it. Our logo came in. Our LED neon logo came in. And it's the first time we're using it today. And some other kinds of things we've put up on the wall, different than our old set. So I hope you like it. I hope it's something that you're enjoying.
I might be biased, but I think it looks really good.
You are biased, as a matter of fact. That's okay. Let's see. Before we go to our guest, who I can't wait to talk to, we had her on a few months ago. I lose track of time, and was fantastic. A fantastic guest. We're going to try to do something real quick here with my computer because as I confessed to you, I left my notes in another room, and okay, here we are. Hey, before we go to our guest, I want to tell you that if this will come up, please work, Alex, please work. I want to tell you, today's episode brought to you by Schaefer Oil, America's trusted leader in oil and lubricants since 1839. If you want maximum performance and protection for your engines, your fleets, your equipment, Schaefer delivers. Their advanced lubricants reduce friction, run cleaner, last longer, saving you money with fewer breakdowns and less downtime. That's why professionals in trucking, farming, racing, and industry all over turn to Schaefer. Don't settle for average. Give your engine the premium care it deserves. Learn more at SchaeferOil.com. That's SchaeferOil.com.
I use Schaefer two-stroke in my Mazda.
Really?
Yeah.
In your rotary engine.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool. All right. Hey, I'm really excited for our first guest today. As I said, we had her on several months ago. I don't remember how long ago it was. Erica Seitzma is the CEO and founder of Autofluencer, an amazing company. I'll let her tell you what they do. Hi, Erica.
Hi, how are ya?
Good. Welcome back. How you doing?
Good. And I love the sign. I think it
Thank
looks
you.
great.
Thank you. We were waiting weeks for it. It literally came on a slow boat from China. I thought it was an American company that we ordered it from, and then I got the here's your FedEx tracking thing or whatever it was, and it came from China, and it took weeks to get here. So anyway, it's here. Anyway, thank you. Hey, tell the folks who didn't watch last time. Excuse me. Tell the folks a little bit about your background, and then talk to us about Autofluencer, which is really making great strides in the community. Go ahead.
Sure. I mean, so I've been in automotive in some shape or form for the last 25-ish years. And I was on the retail side working for software companies that helped, it was dealerships at the time, helped car dealerships connect with consumers through emerging technologies. So that was like email marketing, and then like phone tracking where I could record calls. And then my last company, we did social media for dealerships and reputation management and that whole side, social advertising.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was really kind of a big chunk of my career spent on helping, if you want to think of the dealers as brands, helping them connect with consumers in new places, right? I mean, that is the world we've been living in. When you think about trying to market your business over the last 20 years, it just keeps changing, right? Like you think you finally figured it out, and now, there's this new way to do it. There's this new way to do it. There's podcasts, there's streaming, there's so many ways. And so Autofluencer came about. I left my former company to kind of figure out what I wanted to do when I grew up. Great thing to do in your mid-40s.
I say that a lot. I love that line.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
And so, and I knew I wanted to help people solve, I'm passionate about other people's passions. So I joke, I have OPP, other people's passions. Like I love, I feel like with my personal passions, I couldn't really make a business out of just reading books for a living. So I was like, it's not going to work. And so kind of it wasn't a big jump, right? From the retail side, which I call the dark side of automotive, to the light side of automotive, which is the performance side.
I got to tell why I'm laughing. Many years ago, before I went to the ministry, before I went to motorsports, I worked for a consulting company, and all of their customers were car dealers, and most of them were in New York City, in the boroughs, or in Long Island.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you, I met some of the hardest to difficult people to work with in those dealerships. That the dealers were insane.
Because I probably know a lot of those people. Yeah, it's interesting. It's either like the greatest people in the world or like the worst people in the world.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. Tough group.
Yeah, but I love cars. I love that side. And my husband had been 20 years in the aftermarket working for Motor Trend, like about half the industry did. And he was like, I'm telling you, you need to look at the aftermarket. Like that's where your people, everybody's passionate, everybody's into it, whether they're the manufacturers or they're the racers or they're the influencers, everybody's into this space. And so we went in with an original thesis of like what, we worked with a lot of brands. My original co-founder, Marla Moore, who unfortunately recently passed away, she was so helpful in the very beginning of kind of her experience and introducing me to people as we really kind of worked on what was the right fit and where we really landed. It's been a journey as a software. We're self-funded. And really what we saw first need of the industry was just data and like reporting, whether you are a racer or you are a manufacturer with a big sponsor program, and you need data, like what is happening, especially as I talked about emerging technologies with social media, because that's a huge part of racing sponsorships now. The markets have shifted and you don't have, even though there's all these like, we stream it live, but like how many people really watch that live stream, right? And, it's hard to say, but racers are posting, they are talking about your brands on social media, but how can you quantify that? And even for the racers themselves, it is near impossible to aggregate all the posts you've done for just one brand. Yeah. Some I will see take liberties and they'll be like, here's my earned media value. But they look at all of their social media posts. So including their Happy New Year post that doesn't mention your brand. And then we just had a new baby post, doesn't mention unless you're still wearing, a onesie with that logo on it, like that doesn't really count. So we work. The
obligatory Merry Christmas post, right?
Yeah, exactly. So we work to try to help quantify that through automation and reporting. And then we're actually in the process right now of rolling out an all new sponsorship application process.
Really?
Streamline that to make it really easy for the brands and the racers or race teams to apply. And we really kind of see this being an opportunity for the industry, where a racer can have their profile and they can apply to 10 different brands and the bulk of the information is already filled out. What cities are you running? What events are you going to be at? They already have that saved to their profile. So when they go to apply to different brand sponsor programs, a lot of it's filled out, and then the brands can ask custom questions. And then they have kind of easy tools in the background to more easily compare the different drivers and who they want in their program. Because we have some clients, like one of them has 600 racers in their program. So like, how do you?
All right, let me guess. If I guess, can you say yes, or is that like confidential?
I don't know. I think he's pretty open about it.
All right, so is it the Redline Oil Company?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, smart. Yeah, so he's got a huge program.
I know they've got. I didn't know they had that many, but I know they've got a lot.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's like that's a big undertaking to go through that process. It's months of time. So we're reworking our system to take something like what he's got, and instead of it taking 6 weeks for him to go through over 1,000 applicants, we want to shorten it way down to make it way easier for him to apply, to send contracts to. That's of our goal.
I want to know, where was all this technology 10 years ago when I got started in motorsports? None of this was available. Everything was, by yourself, manually, looking stuff up. I had to do it all back then.
Yeah.
And now, really, if you're coming into motorsports new now, you've got tremendous resources to help you with the process. It's pretty spectacular what's being developed and what's being planned.
The one thing I will say, well, there are technologies out there. You still typically only have one person. On the manufacturer side, they still run very, very lean. It depends on the brand and the levels, right? But like even Mark, he runs very lean. not a huge team, even though
Sure.
like, theoretically they're owned by a huge company.
Hmm.
You know, Redline Oil is just a small part of that huge company. And I think there is definitely a misconception, and I have to tell racers or whatever the role is, I tell them all the time, because sometimes they'll take it personally if they didn't hear back, or it takes a long time, or it's just slow. And I'm like, believe me, as much as you are so big, they have it too. They are just, even though this is quote
Sure.
unquote their job, so many of them like are sales and marketing. Or if they're lucky enough to be just marketing director, well, it's for 6 brands.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they do 25 events throughout the year. So it's
And that's why their inboxes are full every day. I mean, that's why I know when you're going to send something, you've got to have an incredibly good title of that email. You got to catch their attention with something because they're inundated with, CMOs are constantly getting bombarded with emails.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so we're trying to. Our tagline is "Do more of what you love." And, we kind of believe that no one loves the process of reviewing thousands of applicants to a program. Nobody loves the process of trying to pull together manual reporting. Like, that's a rare beast. Is like, I love looking at reporting, especially if they're in our space, right? Like, that's nobody's favorite thing. And then the racers, my guess is like 99% of them, would not rate pulling all my stats together as like in the top 5.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't like doing it, but I like reading it. I love stats. Yeah. I love data. I'll pour over data for hours. I mean, anytime somebody comes up with like on a social media channel, a new report of why so and so, man, I'm downloading it. If I'm going for it. I want to read it. I want to learn. Yeah. So I can relate that with you. Hey, listen, Erica, hold that thought. We have to share a little love with another partner, and it's going to be our good friends at Speed Sport. So let us come back in just a moment. So hang on right there. Yeah. Racing fans, if you want to stay plugged into the action, there's only one place to go. Speedsport.com, speedsport1.com. From breaking news to in-depth features to live coverage of events all across every form of motorsports, Speed Sport is your all-access pass. Whether it's IndyCar, NASCAR, dirt tracks, drag strips, Speed Sport brings the stories, the highlights, the drama right to you. You don't have to miss a lap. Visit speedsport.com or tune into speedsport.1.com or speedsport2.com for your home for everything racing. And we love you guys at Speed Sport. Thank you so much. Erica Seitzma joining us with Autofluencer. How did you and Marlo come up with why Autofluencer? Tell us about the name. It's interesting.
So the name was, my husband actually bought the URL. He claims back in 2019. He claims it was for like I saw the writing on the wall that it's for like influencers and and
so it sounds like yeah.
I don't know if I 100% agree with that story. I think he fancied himself potentially like an automotive influencer. At one point, he did a couple podcasts, went back to SEMA, even though he's not been in the industry for a while, he did this funny podcast thing, and I actually think it was bought for that use case. Yeah. He will swear up and down it wasn't, but it was great, right? It fits so well, and it's the only thing, and someone just sent me a note. They're like, you should buy this URL. It's very expensive though, but a lot of people do still say auto influencer. Yeah. Even though it's just, I don't know if you can see it, Autofluencer.
Right.
And
right.
so
I think that's a unique thing about the name. There's no in. There's no IN. It's Autofluencer, which I think is cool.
Right. Which I'm so used to saying now. So for me, I'm like, I don't know. Plus, it's like $4,000. So I'm like, I'm not gonna pay $4,000 for a URL at this point.
No, it's a lot. Yeah.
So, but yeah. So that's where the name came from.
So I have a couple of questions. One is, tell us from start to beginning. So I want to report to my partners, my sponsors, the value or the frequency of social media that they're getting from us. Okay. Right. So how do I start I call you, I email you, how do we start the process?
Yeah. So, racers or brands, you can go direct to our site. Racers are actually able to get in. Everything is free right now for racers. So you can create a profile. You can fill out your profile with a lot of kind of helpful information if brands were searching influencers. Full transparency, we don't have that happen as much where brands go in and search influencers. We will sometimes, on the request of our brand partners, we do what we call green glove service. We hold the hands of our brand partners and do a lot of the heavy lifting for them. But the bigger thing is then once you create a profile as a creator or a racer, you can go in and start to create your own what's called a personal campaign. And so let's say Speed Sport is a sponsor. So we can even take you all, right? Like, so you could have a creator profile, pits are open. You could go in and you could make Speed Sport X pits are open, is usually how we label them. And then you go in and you put in what are the keywords. You would add all your social channels. It's just really, you just put the URL of your social channels. And then you put what are the keywords that you want it to look for in the captions of your posts. And then it'll automatically, our system will start pulling in all your posts from the channels you linked to the platform. It'll pull in all your posts and it'll look in the captions to see if you mentioned Speed Sport. And so if you mention Speed Sport, it'll automatically attach that post to Speed Sport's campaign. It'll pull in the data from that post, and then it'll update and create for you like an earned media value that you could then go back to Speed Sport and say, hey, this is the level of value that we created for you this year. In that you didn't have to create this content, you didn't have to get the audiences, you didn't have to get the level of engagement that we got. And so it's basically a way of saving them money that they didn't have to spend on ads.
So when does that we sign up with you on Friday?
Yeah.
How far back, or is it only that moment forward that your system is looking at mentions or posts or what have you?
So for brands, we go back once a brand pays. We typically will go. This is in flux right now. It's funny you ask. So we used to always go back to the start of the calendar year, but what we're finding is now that we're in let's say October.
Yep.
For us, that can get really expensive, especially if that brand has a lot of people in their program, right? And they're essentially, when you think about the economics of it, they're paying for this month and forward. They didn't pay a setup fee or anything like that.
Exactly.
So
Sure.
when we're pulling back months worth of data, maybe for 50 different influencers or creators or racers, we're just starting to hit the point as far as our volume where that starts to get a bit of a costly endeavor.
Sure.
So we're kind of figuring that out right now. We think we're going to have them pay hey, we'll go back 90 days.
Okay.
But if you want to go back to the start, this far back, it'll be $299, $299.
That's fair.
A backfill, right?
Sure.
For
you pay for more
creators
data.
and racers, they are fully free right now. So we have a lock on them. They can only go back 90 days.
Okay.
And so they can backdate their campaigns 90 days. We are working on, we're going to be announcing at SEMA coming up soon, our head of creator strategy. And she will be helping build out our premium kind of racer creator packaging where you will actually we'll then lock it down to 30 days, like a backward, you can only go backdate it 30 days and then move forward for free. And then if you subscribe, it'll be we're thinking $29 a month, something really low.
Wow.
Hook It is out there at $199 a month, which if you're a smaller rate, you may not even be getting paid $199 a month from anybody, right? So to pay an additional $199. So we want it where it's something where it feels really palatable and is kind of a no-brainer. You can run all your sponsorship reporting. It takes seconds versus weeks. And so many people, because of what a headache sponsorship reporting is, they just don't do it. And I will say, if you send reports to those brands, and so many people aren't, and our head of creator strategy, the reason why they're coming out of this, they do that.
Right.
And that's why they continue to get paid when they're not even actively racing sometimes, is because of that. So, so it does make a difference. I will say a brand, and especially if you're a smaller racer, it shows, or a newer racer, it shows you are treating this like a profession.
Oh gosh,
very seriously. You are not a fly-by-night. You're
serious. You're a serious business. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's awesome.
It does make a difference. So we're really trying to get that. But we won't start charging. So my advice is, if you're a racer, sign up now.
So let me ask you. We only have only a few minutes left here. Excuse me. My allergies. what is it? Give us a description of what you're going to give the sponsor.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Sponsor, I've got a report for you.
Can I show it?
How is that? How is it delivered? What's it look
Yeah.
like? Whatever.
Yeah. Can I show it really quick? Would that be helpful?
I think you can share your screen on
Yeah.
here.
Let me do this real quick. I'm in the share.
Okay.
Can you see this?
Yes. Wow.
Okay.
Cool. Okay.
All right. So what you can do is you can create a report in our platform for your sponsors. If you have multiple sponsorship campaigns, you can pick, just one. And I'll just use this one and hit go. It's going to default to the last 30 days, but you can put in different time ranges. So you could say campaign to date, say go, and you can, so this is the reporting, and then you can set up, what's really cool is you can set up email reports to go out either to yourself or to different partners. And what I love about setting up these email reports is even if you have it just coming to yourself, because you might want to double check everything. We're a technology company. We are not perfect. Working with all these social networks, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, especially Facebook, they're a nightmare.
Can't imagine. Oh my gosh.
You having eyes as a racer, like peeping it before you were to send anything, I always highly encourage. And then you can also forward the report like a little personal note, like, hey, check this out. It's also a great reminder. Like if you were to set it up monthly for all your brand partners to come to you in an email, you could see, oh shoot, I didn't post anything for that partner this month. And it's a good reminder of, oh, they're afraid to get something so that you're showing kind of consistent posting.
That's good.
But so you can set it up, and then we are working on a PDF export out of here.
That'd be cool.
So what we found in working with our different partners, this is Megan Myers. She's agreed that we can show her data. And here we see this concept of this earned media value. But what we tend to do, and let me show you this really quick. We kind of created this in tandem with Megan. And then we share this. So any creator that reaches out to us and says, we have it in like our trainings and stuff that says, hey, if you want a Canva template for your reporting, we'll send it to you. And so what we do is, so like we created this in tandem with Megan for Gunk, one of her partners. But we will create a template. We'll send them like a blank template that then they can customize, and they just screenshot the reporting from our into it.
Yeah.
And then that way they can kind of customize. Like the challenge with a PDF export is like, you may not want to share every single widget.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
Like this one may look a little wonky and you don't know what to say. So we kind of dig this for right now. It's really quick. We build them for our brand partners sometimes, and it takes like 3.5 minutes. But what I like about it is then you have the ability to put these extra pages and this extra stuff that would be really hard for us as a technology platform to figure out.
Right.
So basically the goal is that we would build this kind of template into our system, and then you could customize these things right within our system, and it'll spit out the cutesy little PDF. But we got to crawl, walk, run. So we've provided this to a lot of our partners, and some of them have been even, we just signed on our first event series that they do races. And so they're using, because they have sponsors, so they're using Autofluencer to send reporting to their sponsors for their race series. And so we created a template, and their template's a bit different because they're going to have in theirs some of the streaming data, some of the event attendance and that data. And so we're working with them on how to create value and like a little tool they can use, like a little widget where they can take all of our data and that data, combine it and have a total number on the first page, like all the value. And then it breaks down between streaming, which they have that data, and then the social, which we have that data. So,
I love you're so passionate, Erica. You're passionate about what you do. I love it because I'm fascinated by it. Yeah. Hey, listen, we're almost out of time. I'm excited. First time ever, the pits are open. We'll have a booth this year at PRI. 6048. We'll be doing live interviews. We'll be doing recorded live to tape interviews. We don't tape anymore. And I'm hoping, I think you're going to be there, so I'm hoping that you'll come by and visit with us for a while, and we can get you on the air. It's going to be wonderful. I'm excited. First time we've ever done this. Can't wait to be out. I've been to PRI many, many times. Can't wait to go. In fact, that's how we connected.
Yep.
10 years ago, 9 years ago, I was at PRI. Alex Streeler was teaching a class when he was with Lucas, and he recommended that I reach out to you to have you on the program. So, I mean, it's a small world. It's a small world. Well, listen, thank you so much for coming on. And I want to talk to you some more offline about some things.
Sure.
But anyway, we'll see you at PRI in December. And thank you very much. Appreciate you.
Thanks, everybody. Bye, Will. Bye, everyone.
All right, Erica Seitzman, everybody. All right, we've got let's see, a moment here. We're gonna promo for our friends at Speed Sports. Stay with us.
Speed Sport 1 has live racing this weekend. On Sunday, we'll host the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli. It's the series' penultimate event from Barber Motorsports Park. Live coverage of the TA and GT race will start at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, followed by the Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series at 2:50 p.m. Eastern. The Trans Am Series is on Speed Sport 1. It's free to watch. Go to speedsport1.com for details and viewing options.
Hey, Speed Sport. We love Speed Sport. They do such a great job for it. I can't wait to talk to our next guest. He's a fireman, and a lot of you know we love firemen because we do so much when we have our annual 9/11 memorial service, which we just had our 24th service, and we've had some incredible firefighters come and be guests, keynote speakers at our service. So we love firefighters. He's a professional firefighter, has I think a firefighter school, but he's also an NHRA funny car driver. I love funny cars. They're my favorite. And I'm thrilled to welcome our next guest, Chris King. Chris, welcome to the show.
Hey, how are you doing? Thanks for having me.
I'm thrilled that you're here, and thank you for the work you do as a firefighter. As I said, we've had a service every year for 9/11 since the first one, very well attended in our community. We've had some great folks on. We've had in person. We've had Tim Brown, New York City Fire Department, worked before and after directly. He was the liaison to Mayor Giuliani in New York City. We also had, this is a big, Chief Jay Jonas, who was with Ladder Company 8, who got trapped in the stairwell of one of the collapsed towers. We've had a number of folks on, and every year we have our service. We have the colors are brought by the color guard from a fire department, local fire department, and then this year it was fire department and police department. So it's a very touching time. So we appreciate your work that you do as a firefighter. I really do.
Thank you. Yeah, 9/11 definitely hit a lot of people a lot of different ways. I had a lot of friends that work out in FDNY, also big chiefs now, but they were firemen digging through the pile, survived the collapse and the attack and everything. So yeah, it's something.
So how in the world did you go from, I mean, I guess it's not that big of a jump really, but how did you go from firefighting to drag racing? It's pretty cool.
I always was a gearhead. Like as a kid, I raced motocross and like got into tinkering with motors at a very young age. And it just kind of progressed. And, in high school, we had a really cool shop teacher that had a pro stock car. And my friend Andy Bowl and I were like the two auto shop nerds. And he latched on to us and just kind of groomed us into learning about cars and motors. And we started working on our own things. Eventually turned 16, got street cars and started putzing with those, which led us to go out to Great Lakes Dragway, which is 5 minutes away from where we grew up. And we started doing things like that and decided that we wanted to go faster and faster and faster. And so be it. You start chipping away at it. Next thing you know, you're working on alcohol funny cars and crewing. That's what I started as just as a crew guy.
Sure.
And learned everything I could about the cars, and then decided that, working on them is fun and all, but it'd be way cooler if I could drive one. So a couple phone calls to Mr. Frank Hawley and trip down to Florida, got super comp, came back, got alcohol, and then the rest is history.
Wow.
A couple years in alcohol ranks, and then Paul Richards and Dave Richards gave me the opportunity to license in the Nitro car in Charlotte in 2017, and I haven't looked back since.
Wow. And what body style? I mean, I know it's not a real car brake. What style is your car that you race?
Mine is a Dodge.
You're a Dodge.
I'm running
okay.
a Gen 1 Dodge Challenger.
Good.
Sorry, Dodge Charger. Dodge Charger.
And what's your fastest time? What's your fastest trap speed?
Right now, our best ET is 407 at 302 miles an hour.
Gosh.
We would have probably whooped that on Q2 in Dallas this past weekend, but we had a electrical gremlin that cut the battery out for the ignition system and shut the car off about 700 feet out, but it was trucking.
Wow. I want to talk to you about, you've got a school, right?
I own a company called King Training Innovations, and
Okay.
what we do is firefighter training, and we build patented one-of-a-kind firefighter training props. So you
Really?
can teach guys how to do things that you'd only replicate in an actual fire without having to have the fire. So it's basically a machine shop where we weld and fabricate aluminum training equipment and send that out, across the world, actually, with military. We got military bases over in the Middle East, Alaska. We've got customers in Canada and all over the United States.
And how did you get into that? I mean, obviously through the firefighting world, but what was the genesis for the company?
So that was an accident. I was an instructor at the fire academy, teaching new guys how to do the job. And I was given the task of teaching how to do overhaul and truck operations, which is, technical firefighter stuff. So basically opening up houses looking for hidden fire.
Right.
And usually we can get acquired structures that are going to be demolished and let the firefighters go in there and learn, to tear them down.
Sure.
They need to know how they're built so they can, open them up to look for hidden fire. And we didn't have any available. And we had 100 or so, brand new firemen. And I said to the chief, I'm like, what do you want me to do here? We have no buildings. How am I going to teach these guys? He goes, figure it out. It's your problem. So I figured it out.
Wow.
And it turned into a business for me.
Wow. How did you, firefighters are a different breed, clearly. How'd you get into firefighting and why? What about it fascinated you?
So my dad was a fireman, and I basically grew up going to the firehouse, visiting him, playing on the equipment, knowing all his coworkers and things like that, and going on ride-alongs with him, and just got the bug really, really early. I knew probably before I was 10 years old that I wanted to be a fireman, and that's what I was going to do. So I think it was inbred in me, just like the gearhead passion, because my dad was a gearhead. He had, Super Bs and big Mopars with the 440s and the big stick 4-speed Hurst shifters and all that.
Sure.
So, all that was kind of just bred down to me and just stuck. So I knew right out of high school I wanted to go to fire school. I did that. I was hired at the fire department right when I turned 20, the day after I graduated from fire school. And I've been doing it now almost 30 years.
Wow. So give me characteristics, traits of people that'll make good firefighters.
Common sense, slight mechanical aptitude, and the ability to adapt and overcome.
Okay. Give me some characteristics or good qualities of drag racers, particularly funny car drivers.
Pretty much exactly the same thing.
I thought you were going to say that.
You got to be a smidge crazy. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We're running into burning buildings and we're strapping ourselves to 12,000 horsepower bombs.
Yeah.
So a little bit crazy, a little bit of adrenaline junkie, and a whole lot of courage. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. How much of I can't imagine. I've never gone that fast. I've raced cars for years, but I never went that fast. What kind of a jolt is it when you're launching? That's a ton of horsepower, a ton of torque. What does that feel like?
It's hard to explain, except it feels like you're getting shot out of a cannon.
Does it really?
It never stops. Because the way a nitro funny car works, when you launch, it pulls about 5 to 6 Gs. And then the front end settles down just a smidge, but right when you think you start to got it, the clutch starts coming in and applying more force. So it pegs you back in the seat harder and harder and harder as it starts pulling and going. So it's accelerating constantly, just driving you back into the seat while it's lifting the front end a little bit because it's planting the downforce and it's just hauling rear end out the backside of the track.
What's a bigger feeling of stop when you're out of throttle and out of it, or when the chute comes out, or both?
So hitting the gas is just instant explosive, oh my God, insanity. And when you hit the chutes, it's a relieving 5 Gs the opposite way because you know that it's gonna, you're stopping. You feel that pull and it hits pretty hard and it slows the car down instantaneously. Then you can start feathering the brake. When you don't feel that pop when you throw the chutes, that's when you start panicking a little bit because you're going over 300 miles an hour and that sand trap or catch that's coming up real quick. So you're very thankful when you feel the blossoming of the parachutes and it hits and kind of throws you forward.
So do you remember your first Top Fuel funny car win?
So I would say I would remember it, but I have not won yet.
Okay.
I've qualified for shows and been to first rounds, but we're right there. We're gonna get it real soon. Hopefully.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Okay. Did you ever have a chute failure?
I have. I had a chute fail in Dallas last year. One of the qualifying sessions, it went 412 at 298, 299, something like that. And I threw the chutes and it didn't slow down. And I threw them again and they were already down and it's not stopping. I'm, So got on the brake, start feathering it. And you got to be careful because if you grab too much brake, the hotter funny car brakes get, the harder they grab. And then it'll start hopping.
Yeah.
And once it starts hopping, you're not going to stop. So you have to feather them kind of like your own manual ABS type,
Sure.
And luckily for the Texas Motorplex, it's a long shutdown.
Okay.
So I came in hot, but I was able to make the turnoff and safely get the car back and then figure out what happened and make sure it never happened again.
Did you, when it happened and you realized what was going on, did you have enough time to think this could be bad? Or, I mean, what went through your mind when it was going on?
So with anything with the funny cars, it's all split-second decisions because it's happening so fast. And you kind of you've trained yourself just to respond with muscle memory. But when that happens, initially I thought, okay, second try, chutes are down. Okay, got to get this car slowed down. So you start processing the procedure in your head and start working as hard as you can to make sure you do the right things and not panic, but try to safely, avoid a crash.
Yeah. Yeah. Chris, hold on to that thought. We're going to take a quick break to share some love with one of our partners. We'll be right back. We're going to talk about Redline Ace. Race fans, when it comes to standing out on or off the track, nobody does it better than Redline Ace. Located minutes from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in Speedway, Indiana, Redline Ace is your go-to for high-performance motorsports graphics. From custom wraps, helmets, trailers, hero cards, you name it, Redline Ace makes sure that you look as fast as your ride. So visit redlineace.com. That's redlineace.com. See today why champions trust Redline Ace to keep their image in victory lane. We've got Chris King with us today, funny car driver, fireman first, and funny car driver. And it's amazing to me that you find time to do both.
Yeah,
it must be a busy schedule that you keep.
Well, I just got home from the Dallas race last night at about midnight and then woke up this morning and I've been unpacking trailers and cleaning and, just organizing and trying to get back to my normal life. Yeah. Luckily, I don't go back to the firehouse until Thursday, so I got today and tomorrow to kind of unwind. But it's hard, balancing family, balancing work, racing. The racing never stops. I'm on the internet, emails, phone calls, buying parts, booking trips, trying to find sponsors. The racing never stops. It's an everyday thing. But, the firefighting, we work 24 on, 48 off. And me with so much seniority now, I get to have some better vacation picks. So I try to take all my stuff in the summertime to work around the racing. Mm-hmm. So if that doesn't work out, we can do work trades where I just flip-flop ships with somebody and end up working, when they need it and they work when I need it. So it works out. I don't think I could pull this off if I had any other profession, honestly.
Yeah, you need that flexibility. The camaraderie that exists within a firehouse is pretty amazing. We witnessed it firsthand when we took a production crew down to New York City, and it wasn't Ladder Company 8. He had moved on, but Chief Jay Jonas was at another firehouse, and we stayed there all day. We got there early in the morning. We stayed there all day. We interviewed him. And you could tell there's just a sense of, camaraderie, brotherhood. I don't know how to describe it. Do you experience that with your team?
Yep, very much. And like you said, you go to any firehouse across the country and walk in, tell them you're a fireman, or tell them what you're up to, and they're going to welcome you with open arms. They're going to offer to feed you. They're going to offer anything in the world to take care of you. And like you said, it's camaraderie and brotherhood. It's a big, big extended family. And what's cool about that is traveling here with the NHRA, I have firemen and first responders, military veterans, all coming to my pit, and they want to talk, and we let them sign the race car, and we do kinds of things where, you're meeting friends and making connections with, fellow first responders. And it's awesome. So you get to meet a lot of cool people. The fire department it's a big family, but that carries over to the racing side too. The racing world is a big family also. When we strap our helmets on, we're sworn enemies. I want to beat you. But when the helmets are off, everybody's there to bend over backwards to help you out, to make sure you have what you need, that you're safe, and that things are going okay. Guido's been great. The Team Napa guys, they're like our big brothers. Yeah. Beckman, I don't know if you ever watch the races. If you watch me run, because I usually run in the front of the order, if you look in the back of my car, Jack Beckman's always standing there. He always pops underneath, tell me some words of wisdom as a driver and wish me good luck. And then he always is there just kind of overseeing to make sure everything's good. So everybody looks out for everybody, and it's really cool.
So let me ask you, when the body comes down and you're pre-staged, do you feel alone? Is there a sense of, your team's there, they're there, but it's you in the car. How does that feel?
Yeah, you feel 100% alone. I get in the car and strap in, and my crew guys are under there pulling everything tight and making sure everything's on correctly. But the minute they roll out from underneath, I'm kind of like on my own. Yeah, I can see people walking around, but nobody's bothering me because I'm starting to focus and try to get my head straight. And then when we pull up to the water box and they start the car, everything just goes away. It's me, the track, and that's it. I see things, but I'm not even paying attention to it. There's 100,000 people watching me, and I couldn't even tell you anything because I don't notice them. Right. So when they drop the body down and I roll forward, it is 100% focus on the track at your reference point. Your marks for your burnout, where you're eyeballing, watching the crew chief to give you the signal. You're so focused that all that background, you don't even notice it. Especially when you're staging the car, it's you and the light. That is all that matters. You're staring at that, you're watching, and as soon as it flashes, you hit the gas, and you're trying to focus on that point that you picked out way, way at the end of the track, and then you just try to keep the car straight using as far of a focus as you can in your peripheries.
I wonder, and I know a lot, and just like any other athlete, you're obviously you're good at tuning things out that shouldn't be there. But what has more significance in your mind after a run? A super, super great reaction time or a red light?
So the red light hangs over you for a little while because you're like, stupid, why did I do that? What was I thinking? But getting a good light, I try to cut lights every time I'm up there. Even though I know it's qualifying and it doesn't mean anything. I could be on a solo pass and I'm going to go up there. And if you look at my timesheets, I was pulling 70s, all weekend, which is pretty decent for a fuel funny car. Sure. So I go up there and treat every time I stage the same. And I try to get good lights because the better light I can get, the better chance we have to win. Yeah. And the rest is up to the tuner to make sure the car, goes down the track. But when you red light, you kind of kick yourself for a little while.
Yeah, it's smart. Yeah. Hey, I know there's a lot to it, but how significant is getting the clutch right?
The clutch is very, very, very important. If I do my burnout wrong, or if I back up and ride the clutch and put heat in the clutch, it's going to respond different. So you have to be a machine. You have to be dead nuts identical. Your procedures, your warm up, everything you do has to be the same. Otherwise, you're going to have some, inconsistencies, and the tuner can't compensate for inconsistencies. He's expecting this, and that, and he knows what it's going to do. But if I do something stupid and drag my foot and heat the clutch up, well, now he just made it more aggressive, and that's going to play with his tune-up. So you have to be very aware of what you're doing as a driver, making sure you don't make the mistakes and do things. A lot of times you can get heavy-footed, they call it, where you just get lazy and you rest your foot on the throttle and it brings your RPMs up a little bit. Well, that's increasing fuel flow. That's increasing everything because it's all mechanical driven. So, there's a lot of things as a driver, if you're not on top of your game, that you can really screw up.
How do you know, like when you're launching and you'll see this happen time to time. You'll see somebody, whether it's a dragster, a funny car, you'll smoke the tires. The tires, you won't get the traction you need.
Yep.
So you try to recover from that, but is it like happens so quickly it's almost too late?
Yeah, it's hard to catch it when it smokes the tires initially because the car's doing so much, and you're being exposed to so much, being thrown back in the seat, and you're waiting for it to take off, and it doesn't. So you're hearing it, and you kind of feel the car hop up. So you got to get out of the gas real quick because it'll over rev. Once it over revs, it's knocking all the cylinders up because there's more fuel, and it's wrecking the rods because it's over revving. I mean, it's causing chaos on everything in the motor.
Right.
So.
Right.
You need to try to catch it as quick as possible.
Yeah.
And you'll see guys go out there and try to pedal it and do things, and they end up blowing the motors or wrecking a lot of stuff. In a qualifying run, if it smokes the tires, it's just you're done anyway. You're
It's
not going to
devastating. Yeah.
good run out of it. So why beat your stuff up?
So are you in close by to Chicago? Is that right?
I live in Chicago. Yes, sir.
In Chicago. Okay.
Yep. We
So
have a city residency.
do you ever venture in December? Do you ever venture down to the PRI in Indianapolis?
Yep.
You do.
I go to
Will you be
PRI
going this
every
year?
Yep.
Really?
Every year.
Well, we're going to be there first time ever. We got a booth set up. We'll be broadcasting live and live to tape. So we would love to have you stop by and talk with us when we're out there. So I'll have
absolutely.
I'll have to keep track of that.
We can schedule it with my PR manager.
Okay.
He usually sets up all my interviews and
Good.
where I need to be because I have so much going on. But yeah, we can definitely do that. I'd love to stop by and talk
That'd
to
be
you.
good. I'd love to see you in person. That would be wonderful.
Yeah, that'd be very cool.
Well, I'm going to be talking in a few minutes. We shift gears here. We're almost done with our program, and I co-host a program with somebody else who I think you know, Kurt Hansen.
Yes, Kurt's a good guy. I've talked to him a couple times.
We'll be doing Race Central Unplugged in about 5 minutes. We just flip over and I jump in a co-host role with Kurt. Hey, listen, Chris, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate your time. I'm really looking forward to meeting you in person at PRI and maybe getting you on the program again. So thank you so much.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Okay, have a great day. Chris King, everybody. There you go. All right, is he out there? The ultimate motorsports disruptor, Kurt Hansen. Let's bring him in. Hey, Kurt.
Hey, buddy.
How are you?
Yeah, good. Chris is a great interview. I've had him on a bunch of times. And I think Elon Werner, who's his PR guy, who's a very close friend of mine, has already talked to Chris about PRI.
Okay, cool.
If not, I'll follow up with him. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about. We're talking about some of the stuff you talked about, but some weird news out of Formula One as it relates to Charles Leclerc.
Really?
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, I missed out on that, so you'll be leading the way on that one. I thought it was about maybe Daniel Ricciardo. That's what I was going.
I don't think, but his twin brother, Mick Schumacher.
Yes.
Is in the car, and we'll talk a lot about that. Also, Denny, his win this weekend, his 60th.
That's a big one. Yeah.
Yeah, he won over a lot of people this weekend.
Yes, sir.
And from talking with my minions, I mean, even me, I've not been a big Hamlin guy, but when you see a guy get that emotional and talk,
he won a lot of hearts over this weekend.
I think there's a lot of people pulling for Denny Hamlin that maybe didn't before. Yep. Even though I hate to say it, but knowing Denny, he'll find a way. He'll find a way to not win a championship because he's been very good at that before. So we'll talk Charles Leclerc, Formula One, Denny Hamlin, Coletta. Looks like he's getting right back on his, his Wheatie box again. And then we'll talk about some of the stuff you talked about, I'm sure. And we'll definitely hook up with Chris King. We'll probably get Buddy Hall. We can probably get Doug Coletta and maybe J.R. Todd.
I think our problem is making sure we have a really tight schedule because I think we'll have more guests than we can handle over the 3 days.
Oh, it's going to be stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, you put it out in your LinkedIn. I put it out. I put it in the newsletter. I'm starting to already get so that's why I put in our post will be right next to the NHRA stage because sometimes those
we'll be a little across. We're across the hallway from the NHRA stage a little, but we're very close. I mean, you can from where we are, you could easily shoot a spitball and hit the NHRA stage.
God, I'm sure they'd love to hear that. And I put in for the Mario breakfast, but I have to get approved first.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if I'm approved yet.
All right.
I'm not a big shot like you.
Okay. Well, we're definitely planning on going, and we'll have a full table there. So,
And I will be back on the air this Friday from 3 to 5. It's a drive 3 to 5 Mountain Time, Race Central Radio. Great show lined up. So, and all of you out there in Zoomy Zoom land or whatever the hell you're doing, you can listen live at racecentral.live. Click on the ESPN Listen Live link, and you too can join the show. Actually, you know what? Maybe I should have you come back on this Friday.
I think that would help your show tremendously.
Let's do it. We can talk a lot about religion.
Well, we could. That's what.
Yeah, and then pagan rituals.
Yeah.
We can deal a lot of that.
Yes.
But yeah, let's just put it in your book.
Well, those are my three strong suits. The 3 R's. The 3 R's: religion, racing, and radio. Those are my three strong points. So.
Yeah, and rambunctious.
Yeah, rambunctious. Yeah, that's a
rambunctious,
subcategory. Yeah. All right, listen. Let's switch over here, and we'll be back in just a few minutes, folks. Go over to racecentral.live, and you can see it right on Kurt's website. We'll be there. And Race Central Unplugged is a great show, and we'll have a lot of fun. So we'll see you in a few minutes. Kurt, my friend, I'll see you in a few minutes.
Hey, how was dinner last night? I didn't get a chance to come over for chicken, but I'm sure
it was really good. Chicken was good. I like corn a lot, so okay. All right. Hey, everybody, thanks for watching Pits Are Open. We'll see you next week. Watch out. Go to our website, sign up for our newsletter, pitsareopen.com. Sign up for our weekly newsletter. We appreciate it. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, the Pits Are Open podcast. Hey, we'll see you next week, and we'll see you in a little while, buddy. Kurt Hansen, thank you.